All right, we're back another Saturday on our Black Media with the Watchdogs. Good morning. I think I saw there he is, the birthday boy. Happy birthday, Carlton.
You muted.
All right. What you let me unmute you. Okay, you 65 or 45 or 25?
I turned 73 this year, in case you didn't know.
73, eh? All right, all right.
All right, what's going on your way, Julius? Because I think you over in the PW.
Yes, sir. Happy birthday, Carlton. And I'm not gonna be able to party with you, but I know you're gonna have a ball.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I know y'all not gonna be able to party. I'm in this weekend. I'm currently in our nation's capital this week, and I'm trying to go to the African American History Museum later on today.
Oh, that's gonna be cool.
Awesome.
So to our viewing audience, we're gonna shift it up a little bit and make it a little more fun for you. So today we're gonna start off, y'all, 5 to 10 minutes, no more than that, 5 to 10 minutes to take a closer look at an issue. And I think Julius is gonna love this. We're gonna talk about the destruction of the MLK arena here in Savannah. Who want to kick it off?
You say who want to kick it off?
Yeah, y'all. Hey, this is your issue. You're mad? You're mad with city council. Why are you mad?
I thought you had something on it or something.
No. Our main topic today. We're going to talk about the building back better Black communities. But in our first 10 minutes or less, we're going to talk about. We're going to take a closer look at the destruction of the MLK Arena here in Savannah.
Well, I'm a little upset that the arena is being torn down. The part that has significance to our community is being torn down. That's what I'm a little upset about. I'm a little upset that you can take away the name of Martin Luther King in the Martin Luther King Arena, but you leave up the Johnny Mercer Theater part. And that's a little disturbing to me. What also is a little disturbing to me about that is that I saw on the news where they say it might take, when they tear it down, it's going to take $100 to $120 million to replace whatever is going to be there. $100 to $120 million. Are they out their damn minds? $100 to $120 million. You can renovate the damn place for that. You can make it a Black Wall Street for the to spur economic growth in our communities. You can make it a shining beacon so that people see the legacy of this Black council. This council is the scariest council in the whole country. You have no backbone, none whatsoever. They could have gotten there and said, you know what? Let's do something to leave a legacy of showing people that we were here, that we did something for our community. What they're trying to do is to be fair when fair isn't really the thing to do right now. What you want to do is level the playing field. That makes it fair. They're trying to be fair from an advantage point where we're still on the bottom. Level the playing field. Make it something. You don't have to. What's the big hurry in tearing down this damn place?
Greg Parker.
Brand new.
Yeah.
Greg Parker got Van on a leash, and y'all know it.
Somebody got him on a leash.
And on his lap.
Well, this is what happens when you allow people to get in the office who don't have the necessary sufficient funds to fund their lifestyle, the lifestyles that they want, and it can be evilly influenced by the almighty dollar.
Well, yeah. And
let me offer this, y'all. Julius, you said a good point, and we got 3 minutes on this. What gets me is you talked about being fair. See, Black folk, and I get, and I'm compassionate. I'm a person who's done DEI work, diversity, equity, inclusion work all my life. So I get it. But we got to stop feeling guilty for not inviting everybody to every damn cookout. Everybody can't come to the cookout. I'm just sorry. We we want to always be the kumbaya culture. We always want to be inclusive. And I appreciate that. I get it. But you got to realize we ain't always invited to the cookout. And we can't. Dr. Umar Johnson, whether you like him a lot, talks a lot about that in what he's saying. We got to stop feeling guilty for protecting us and our culture.
That's correct.
Mine. And so stop being behold. If you made black millionaires, you wouldn't have to go down there and beg Greg Parker.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. They are scared to lead. That is the problem with these people. They are scared to lead. What they're trying to do is be pleasing in the eyes of the establishment, and the establishment don't look like us. So you can figure that out. This is what they're trying to do. They're trying to be pleasing to these people because, especially with the mayor, I guess he wants to be. This is last term, so I guess he figures he wants to have another office, maybe county commission chair, maybe run for the state rep job or something. I don't know what he wants to do, but what we have to do is be vigilant enough to make them do what needs to be done. And if we have time, I'm going to tell y'all my thoughts on a whole lot of things today. It's especially Donald Trump. If we get into that,
you see how he tried to slide it in, Carlton. See that?
Or it might. People. What we do needs to be interesting. What needs to be do is to grip people. If we don't, then I'll talk about it on Wednesday. But
you'll talk about tomorrow.
Well, yeah, I could talk about it tomorrow, but you got to remember, I don't know where I'm gonna be at tomorrow.
We're gonna be here on Earth. Hold on, y'all. Today, y'all, we're talking about. Before I go there, we're talking about what are we talking about? Oh, building back better black community. So I think, y'all, this is gonna be a 2-part series. But our first topic today, we want to talk about, as we build this conversation out, what does it mean to be black? So let me start with this video.
The headline for Stacey Patton's 2014 op-ed in the Washington Post was stark. In America, black children don't get to be children. I was reminded of this after hearing about what happened to Ralph Yarl, the 16-year-old honors student in Kansas City, whose mother sent him on a big brother task, pick up his younger brothers from a friend's house. But Ralph went to the wrong house, Andrew Lester's house. And rather than open the door and ask what Ralph needed, the 84-year-old shot him through the glass door and then shot him again, all for going to the wrong address. Black children don't get to be children, but no matter your age, when you're black in America, you don't get to be fully American. That freedom we're so fond of talking about as a nation comes with an asterisk when you're black. We're viewed with suspicion. We're never given the benefit of the doubt. Our actions are never presumed innocent. And with that comes a lot of stress. There are moments that sneak up on you, say sitting in a Starbucks while black, or birding in Central Park while black, or shopping for underwear while black, or Airbnb-ing while black. Then there are those moments when action is needed, but if you've read my writing over the years, you know I never leave home without my driver's license, insurance card, and business card with my husband's cell phone number on it, because you just never know. I'm one vigilante, avowed racist, or homophobe away from calamity. And if I got into an accident on a country road, I'd think long and hard about whether to go to the nearby house for help. Could I be putting myself in more danger by doing so? I can't afford not to think this way. That's what being black in America means. Constantly weighing the pros and cons of countless situations and interactions and hoping you get from point A to point B with as much of your dignity intact, if not your life. All in an effort to just be. I'm so glad Ralph Yarl survived. But if you're black in America, no matter our age, after you prayed for him, you shuddered at the thought that that could have been or will be you or a loved one. We shouldn't have to live this way, and it's a damn shame that we must.
All right, Carlton, what's your thoughts? What are your thoughts?
One of my statement from one of my favorite TikTokers: black in itself is luxury. It simply points down to a jealous. To me, it points down to a jealousy because if we scientifically we know that melanin is the most abundant substance in the universe. That's scientifically proven. So when you have something that's so abundant and then you can have it at the will and you can produce as much more of it, why would you not be jealous? But that situation right there is absolutely tragic. The fact of the matter is, I personally wouldn't go to nobody's door no more because I don't feel safe doing it. Because there's too many instances that have happened over the past recent years where Black children simply have been trying to go to doors because I remember a couple of years ago when he got lost and he was trying to ask for help and then the man's chased him with a gun. And now we hear where somebody has actually gotten shot. When does it end? When does somebody come and say, hey, enough is enough?
Joe, let's go for it.
Well, it ends when we stand up. The problem is that nobody respects us. The problem is that we don't respect each other. The problem is that there's no sense of unification in our community. We don't have that. And we've been brainwashed and institutionalized over the last 50 years to hate one another. So we don't stand up for one another. Yeah, you might say, oh, no, that don't happen. No, it happens in every Black community in this country. We don't stand up for each other. We don't come to bat for each other. We're disorganized and broken. We're in a sunken place in our community. And we have to get back to where we once were when we were fighting to get the things that we have now. Now that we have them, we have all become complacent. We become content, and we don't care anymore about what happens to Carlton. I don't care no more about what happens to Robert. See, that's why we created what we have here. What we have here on Our Black Media gets the message out. It gives the information to people. And with all the shows that we do, 20 that we have now, another 4 or 5 that we're developing, we are spreading information so that somebody can't say, I didn't know. Well, you need to pay attention because I tell you, you're not going to feel the pressure until the foot or the knee is on your neck. And that's when it stops, Carlton. It stops when we all stand up together and become one again.
All right. Yeah, we're going to go to a commercial break and we'll come back and we'll see if we want to continue with that line or continue with our topic. Hold tight.
Hello, I'm Richard Coleman, and I'm running for the office of Sheriff of Chatham County. And when I'm elected, I promise to inspect what I expect. Chatham County, it's time for a change, and that change is me, Richard Coleman.
So I was going to keep going. Carlton, you better bring yourself back now. We're paying you good. I want to go back to something you said, Julius. I want to go to Ketanji Brown Jackson. I think people fail to realize that even in 2024, we are still celebrating the first African American or the first Black person to hold or get or achieve a certain office or accolade. That's disturbing. And what gets me, and you're going to love where I'm about to go with this. This gives you a free ticket to talk about the election. It disturbs me how people can align behind Trump when he has never and will never consider a Black person for any office. He had a chance to do it and didn't do it. So you got Joe Biden sitting here and you got people who are in our corner who don't look like us. So you got white folk using their privilege and we turn against them. How stupid is that?
Well, Robert, I'm glad that you asked that question. Because I'm serious. I'll say this again because, probably nobody will probably see the same thing that I say, because this is what I'm going to say on Tuesday and on Sunday if I'm available on Sunday. I hope that I can be available on Sunday. I should be finished by then. Donald Trump is the greatest thing to happen to the Black community in the last 50 years. He is everything that I just told Carlton about just now.
Mhm.
Everything. He's the only one that can unify us. He is absolutely correct. As much as I dislike Donald Trump, I think he's exactly what we need right now, especially what Black Americans need. He needs to win so he can show us that we are all fools. He's the only person available that can truly unite the Black race and people of color. His racist policies, views, and actions will drive us to a point where we have no choice but to unite. We will have no choice other than to come together and fight against that which threatens to destroy us. A lot of people will probably die, and even more will suffer harshly from another virus of Trump, meaning another Trump administration. The Democratic Party has been an enabler for the laziness of African American people. They have been an enabler for Black complacency. They have been an enabler for decades of underachieving African American economic growth. The Democratic Party is weak. I am sad to say that I am a Democrat. The Democratic Party has been an enabler to the disunity of the African American people. The Democratic Party is broke. They want to be woke. And they act like they just had a stroke after going to a party using coke. That's what they act like. They don't have an idea of how to unify us because they don't want us to take over. It is in our nature to lead, to take over, to do things correctly. And they know this. If they give us that opportunity, we will do that. But like I said, Donald Trump will put his foot on our neck because y'all see all those male Karens and the female Karens and all that that's happening out there. It's going to get worse. Then you'll say, oh, I wish I wouldn't have voted for Trump. I wish I would have got and took my whole family to the polls. We lost a race the other day by 9 votes. Every vote counts.
All right. Well, y'all, really quick, let me turn the corner really quick to get our agenda moving forward. But how has class hurt our communities? And is economics presenting a divide? How has class? So what I mean by that is we have people who are, who think they've arrived, they're in the boule, and they've got these accolades, and they're surgeons, and they're this, and they're that, and they have 2 cars in the house and live in these nice neighborhoods. And you have those of us who are struggling just to make ends meet, single moms, maybe multiple children, families with low income who are just struggling to get by. How has class and economics created a divide in the Black community?
Carlton, want to take that first?
Well, it makes one thing. Well, it goes back to what you said earlier. It has created a point where we just don't care about each other anymore. And 50 years of programming ain't gonna be all done overnight. The deprogramming has to begin expeditiously. Mm-hmm. Because when it comes to class, like we all have friends on both sides of the spectrum where they are from. They moved up, or some of the ones that are still doing the same thing that they was doing 30 years ago. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to their class systems, it's very detrimental to the black establishment.
Let me go a little further with it, because Carlton, I think you're onto something now. Do you all think that civic organizations, churches, or community groups have changed, have helped to deepen that ditch?
The Black church is the downfall of the Black community, and I stand on that 10 toes down.
You're absolutely correct.
Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong.
The Black church has failed us. The Black church has failed us. Listen to what I'm saying. Your pastor has failed us. Failed us. If they're not out in the streets advocating for everything that we need in our community, when all they think that they need to have is an ATM in the lobby, then they have failed us. If they're not out here trying to preserve our history, they have failed us. The Black church is the laughing stock of the world. The American Black church is the laughing stock of the world. It just takes us to open our eyes and understand that religion, is you have to believe that there is a God, or we wouldn't be able to do the things that we're doing.
Right.
But they use religion to control everything and to control us.
Yeah.
And Carlton, you are exactly right. The Black church is a failure. They are the reason for our demise. And if we don't understand that and somehow get back into doing and loving each other and caring that we can build together, then we're going to be in the sunken pit for a while. In the classism, get on what you were saying, Robert. There's a lot of isms and classism and elitism, and they it's all part of how they control us. Because see, we're natural born leaders. We go to the front, so they have to. It's all kind of things in the way of stopping us from truly uniting. They don't want us united because we become too powerful and overtake. Then the world changes for everybody else. So, it's not about revenge, but it's just about the true character and the true what's in our DNA. And it's not nothing racist. If you really just look at it. Science tells you this. Everything that you can look at tells you this. But they created the different classes so that you can feel divided. Somebody has to be on the bottom, but only those that want to be on the bottom. I know several people that don't want to work nowhere but a hotel, that don't want to work nowhere but a restaurant. You know what I'm saying? So they're not trying to achieve. So those people will probably always be on the bottom. Everybody can't lead, but you can have the mentality to lead. And so they create things, the projects was created to divide us. You can't have a man in it. So therefore now you got the woman with no man living with her kids in the projects. You can't go in the projects with a man. They'll tell you then you got to go get a house. So it's a lot. You just got to look at those things that were created to divide us.
Yeah. As y'all were talking, and I just lost my thought, but it'll come back to me. All these organizations in our communities. What bothers me, even with NAACP, is how we got people who are in a coma. They are in a coma. And what I mean by that is go back to your mission statements, to our fraternities, our sororities, our churches. Churches, if you look at churches in the civil rights era and you compare them to churches now, you would be appalled. You have bishops people will make themselves a bishop, people will make themselves an apostle and this. And the only reason a lot of them are doing it is because of the financial benefit. Let's just be real about it. As I said a couple more weeks ago, the tape was off the mouth, so I'm going to say what I say. Everybody in Savannah, everybody in Atlanta, everybody in the United States ain't anointed. Y'all need to stop that lie. Some of y'all can't even preach. And what gets me in this city here, I rode around the west side one day. Y'all, we got churches that are next door to each other, Black churches. How ignorant is that? So what you're saying is, I must have a much more prophetic voice than you. And so I'm going to preach better. So we're going to split that. And instead of having a pool of resources, right, we're going to divide the resources. I don't care whether you like them, not, or whatever you feel about New Birth Missionary Baptist Church. Bishop Jamal Bryant is the example. Okay? That's an example of what we need to do. Pool the resources together. Everybody can't be the chief. Everybody can't be the chief. But we got to make an impact. And when y'all start splitting off like that, it looks silly. It just looks silly. And we're not accomplishing anything.
Over 900 Black churches, 900 churches in Chatham County, 900 churches in more opening every day. With
There's
4 or
900
5
churches in
people
Savannah,
in Chatham County.
in Chatham County.
Yeah.
900 and something.
Yeah.
How in the hell can you talk about you trying to take somebody to God when you can't even be godly with other people?
There you go.
You got to divide yourself. It's 5 and 10 people in these churches. 5 and 10 people. Instead of saying, let's close this church down and build a bigger one and a better one to glorify God. What they're saying is, let's keep these churches so you can glorify me, the pastor, and all you got is 10 members in it. Close the church down. It's just a building. It's a building.
Right.
Build something better on it. Build something where you can say, let's go get these other 5 churches and we all gonna come together and build something where we can all love God together, so we can all worship God.
Educate our kids. Save the homelessness.
Yeah. Do something meaningful.
Come on, people. We ain't doing nothing but patting ourselves on the back.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's
Calvin,
crazy.
before we go to commercial break, what's your thoughts on this?
You know what? I started it off. That it's deplorable, but the problem is it's like them 5 people, like you said, it's 10 people in the church. Them 10 people got mad at the last pastor and said, one of them said, well, I'm gonna go start my own church and we gonna go over here in the storefront.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I don't want to delve too much in it, because talking about it upsets me, and it's not a subject that's friendly to most. But earlier, something that you said, the one thing that I will say is, while it's on my mind, is about the projects, is the fact that Black people, we have to realize that when we came, we are community creatures. We are community people. We value, that's where we come from. It goes all the way back to our roots, and that's what we stand on. So being one people to come in is part of the natural nature that we have. Shouldn't be, but it is. But yeah, that's my thoughts right now.
All right, we'll be back. We want to hear from Patty Hewitt. She's running for the 1st Congressional District in South Georgia. We'll be back after her message.
I'm Patty Hewitt, and I'm worried about our future.
Last one?
I think about my grandkids and the belief that they deserve every opportunity. And what you deserve, what coastal Georgia deserves, is someone who cares more about their community than about corporate profits and big pharma.
I'll see you later.
All right, thank you. Small business owners and hardworking Georgians are the heart of our community.
Have a good day.
Not CEOs, not lobbyists, not shareholders, but who's taking care of them? It's time to ask yourself, what do you want from your government? This is our year to stand up against what we know is wrong. No more DC politicians invading our home life. No more racism that kills dreams and spreads violence. And no more corporate greed at the expense of workers' rights and our environment.
So what would be the most meaningful help to you?
I've spent the last 8 years working behind the scenes, mobilizing our communities for positive change. And while that is really important work, I can't stand by and allow the same tired politicians to run this country, the same ones who've neglected the real needs of Georgians. I'm ready to take our seat in Congress so I can fight for you and your families.
I vote for you.
Thank you, my darling. I love you. This isn't about party lines. This is about voting for a better future for more Georgians. Enough is enough.
All right, we're back. You all, Patty made a good point there, and she talked about small businesses. And one of the things I've seen in my community is we have a Black mayor. At least we think he's Black. I don't know. And we got his lapdogs, who are what I call his Black Buffalo Soldiers. And we got the 2 non-Negroes who are his lapdogs. And they are killing Black business. I'm going to say what I say. They're killing Black businesses. They don't.
RG, leave Uncle Ruckus alone now.
He is a disgrace. Send his ass back to New York. What are we going to do about that?
Well, the only thing that we can do now is to keep educating the people. One thing that we have, the reason they're in control is that we didn't do what we're supposed to do in the last election. We talked about it. We talked a good game, but they knew that we weren't going to be united. And that's partly all of our fault, all of us, because we said that we were going to get out and we're going to get behind this candidate and we're going to get, but we never did it together. We're too caught up in silos where we do things alone when we need to do. Power is in numbers. Anything that you do in the world, power is in numbers. $100 is worth more than 20. $1 is worth more than 10 cents. So power is in numbers. 100,000 people showing up on the footsteps of the Capitol is more powerful than 15 of them showing up on the steps of the Capitol. So you people respect numbers. They don't respect when you don't bring those numbers, and they don't respect when you don't have the ability to stay in the game and fight, continue to push until something happens, And so that's what needs to happen. We got to have it where we are all united on the same message, working together. We should not have to go, Robert, you going on Wednesday, Julius, you going on Thursday, Carlton, you going on Saturday. No, we should all be there the same damn day. It's maximum impact when we all jump off of that van 15, 20 strong, and we're going to do some things in neighborhoods. We're going to talk to people and knock on doors. It's about being engaged with the community. That's the only thing. See, because they're not paying attention. They're not seeing what we see or hearing what we hear. So we have to go out and we have to meet them where they are. And so when we go meet them where they are, they respect that. They'll get out and vote because they say that we took the time to come to them. That's part of the new politicking now. If we don't politic that way now and campaign that way now, you're gonna lose races.
Well, and Carlton, let me share them. He talked about numbers. So what we do know, and these are facts I'm about to spit out, Carlton, I want your reaction. We have a black working class, who can barely afford to get downtown and work in these elaborate hotels in this entertainment district in Plant Riverside, for example. They can't even afford to live or spend the night in the hotels in which they work, right? Because of living wages, right? We have $1 billion coming through this port daily, and we have the highest poverty rate in this region, right? Not only that, liquor licenses. Black businesses are suffering because we won't administer liquor licenses because they're in black communities. That's just the bottom line. But if you go in the second district, you'll see over 500 liquor licenses. I'm willing to say less than 1%, less than 5%, let's just put out there, less than 5% of black businesses in Chatham County have liquor licenses, and even less in Savannah. So why does that matter? Rashida Edwards has vintage event space in West Savannah. And because of alcohol overlay, our black city council will not award her a liquor license, which means she can't compete with white businesses that are event spaces. So if I can't compete, I can't create jobs. If I can't create jobs and I can't sustain, I go out of business. So we have all of these numbers I just threw out to you, because Julius is right. It's all the numbers on both sides. We are killing ourselves over stupid policy, over people who don't know how to lead, and over folks who are up Great Parker's ass so far that they can't see the sunshine. How do we change that trajectory?
The side note, what I want people to realize so they grasp a better concept of what you mean, because I remember when I wanted to use her event space and we was talking about it, she told me that she couldn't have a liquor license, but maybe 20, 30 feet away, literally from the front door, she could put the liquor stand over there and it would have been fine. That's crazy. And the concept that you're that in that close of proximity that you can't have it, but this business that's right next door to you can. In the same neighborhood now. Let's keep this right. It ain't much on a different street. It's 20, 30 feet. It's crazy.
It is crazy. And it all boils back down to the same thing. Rules can be changed to grandfather people in. If we don't show up in numbers to make people do things that are in our best interest, then they think we don't care. If you got 4 or 5 people showing up when you should have 400 or 500 showing up, then they don't think that you care. See, because those 400 or 500 can change the outcome of their seat being held by them. So they respect that. But your 4 can't do too much to them if everybody else isn't paying attention. So that's the difference maker. We have to be able to understand, and the Democratic Party especially has to be able to understand how to make people galvanize and unify to change the outcome, to get the outcome that you desire. Prime example is Stacey Abrams. Stacey Abrams, first race, she got off the bus, or she got off the bus or the car or van, whatever she was in, and she went and knocked on doors, kissed babies, shook hands, and talked to people. On the second time, she done got too big for herself then. Then she came here and she got off the bus, and when she gave her speech, she got back on the bus. You know, when she was on Oprah and every damn body else show all over. You know, those people can't vote for you. When you was doing that show, you should have been in a neighborhood in Georgia shaking hands, knocking on doors, kissing babies. You got the politics. It's about people understanding that you're not bigger than them. So you put yourself in a different class, then people just gonna forget about you. They don't feel like you can relate to them. So why should they vote for you?
There you go. All right, y'all, we're gonna do another commercial break, and then I'm gonna play a clip, and then we're gonna change kind of the trajectory. Hold tight.
Hello, I'm Richard Coleman, and I'm running for the office of Sheriff of Chatham County. And when I'm elected, I promise to inspect what I expect. Chatham County, it's time for a change, and that change is me, Richard Coleman.
All right, y'all, hold tight. We're gonna play this really quick.
People except for black people.
Interesting to see the black communities in Chicago and New York screaming bloody murder now because these illegal immigrants are coming into your towns. I've been warning you black folks in the inner cities for years.
You know what he wanted to say. I've been trying to warn you niggas.
The white liberal politician is your enemy. Malcolm X said it in 65. He's a fox. He says that he's going to help you for his own personal agenda. But yet you'll keep voting for these white fucking liberal politicians that don't give a about you.
Every election, 92% of the black vote goes to Democrat. If that just drops to 80%, the Republicans will win in a landslide. We don't need all of them to wake up. We just need about 5% of them to wake up. The other 80% of them niggas can stay asleep. They can stay in that coma. I don't understand, man. They just got this allegiance to liberals. I don't know why. It's like in the black culture, they feel that they're obligated because they're black. They should vote for liberal politicians. Everybody's getting fed up with black people except for black people.
All right, what do y'all think? What do you think? Julius, you just talked about it. He put it out there in a different way. What do y'all think?
I sure hope Facebook don't hear. I hope they hear those bleeps in there.
Yeah, that wasn't us. The words expressed by them were not ours.
Yeah, but it's on this platform.
Hey, blame it on Carlton Carter. It's his birthday. It's all
you know, we just have to understand that it's going to take all of us, and that we don't understand that yet. I seen something saying that. And they want to throw this thing out that all the Spanish people are coming here to take black jobs. What the hell is a black job?
Y'all pick cotton.
What black job they talking about? So we are the underclass. We are that class that you step on. We are under their foot. Because what black job? What the hell is a black job?
Oranges. Joggers.
You know,
I mean, on the side note of that, what I feel like we know what he meant, but for the elaboration of the people, the few jobs that black people actually hold, but mostly They're not coming here for that. They come here for other jobs and do their stuff too. When they come here, they're set up. You got to think, when the Asians come over here, they move, they get their stores, they get their restaurants and stuff like that. Where do they go? The Black community. Others, they have been taught. I was watching a video and it was said that they are taught when they come over here to utilize the Black dollar, because the Black dollar will set them up for success. Because the one thing that my people have, we have terrible spending habits when it comes to stuff.
Me.
Baby, when I tell you, I have the one thing that bothers me right now is the fact that I can see somebody walking, that I can see somebody out in public dressed to the nines. And guess what you doing? You walking. Why do you have on a pair of $210 Jordans, some more, 200 up, I'm gonna say 200 up, and you walking? You ain't got no car. You on the phone trying to get somebody to do this, that, and the third. And then after that, I see you about to lick your lips and you about to do one of these numbers. So guess what? We know what you about to do.
Don't hate now. Hold up now. Not too much now.
I mean, but when it comes to it, we are our own downfall.
Yeah.
True.
To your point, what one of the things I'm working on this from both sides of my family. Instead of buying hair and nails and eyelashes, let's buy stocks, bonds, investments, money. Let's invest, right? Instead of buying that child a playground set or a new pair of new polo, let's invest in some stocks and bonds and some housing. I tell people all the time, I would never buy a brand new car again. Every car I buy from now on will be pre-owned. Why? Because the time you drive that car off the lot, you lost $5,000 in the investment. You put money in a home, you're going to always gain. So we got to change our mindsets. You're exactly right, Carl.
Well, and building Black wealth is easy, but see, like what you just said, Robert, and how we keep saying what we're doing is just lip service, because we can't get they've ingrained it in us so long and so deep that we can't get 500 guys to put $50 in a week together and build something. We can't get that same group to say, okay, let's get our credit together with the best people in it, put them forward to let's go build our own hotels. The Indians have a caste system also. But when they come over here, they are a unit together, Carlton, like you said. They are together. They get in a group and they have meetings. And here's the new guy that just came over from India. Each one of them people in that room might give him $1,000 or $10,000 to go start his business. That's what kind of fun that they have. They have a fund. We don't have nothing like that because, see, they've ingrained in us, they taught us to be selfish. We want it all for ourselves. We don't want to give you nothing. You and Robert can't have nothing. It's all for Julius.
Crabs in the barrel.
Yeah. So that's the mentality that we have. They don't. They're taking over. And if you know it, when Trump takes over, he'll probably try to kick them all out of the country. That's what Trump does. He'll probably try to kick them all out of the country because they're people of color too. Even though
all right, because let's not forget when he got in the seat back in 2016 when he won the election, the first thing he did was instituted the Muslim ban and sent the people back to their home country expeditiously.
Yeah. So you got to be able to watch that. We have to be able to say it starts with us. We have to be able to say that we got 50 guys that's going to put $100 in a month or $100 in a week, and we're going to say, okay, let's build something. We got to stop thinking that that little bit of money that is going to change something in our life for the worse. It's going to change it for the better. We got to be able to take risks. Those $200 sneakers that person got on, but their light bill is probably due. That trip that they want to go on to see Beyonce and pay all that money to see Beyonce and fill these arenas up, and you don't have running water in your house. You know, your clothes piled up in the corner with dirty clothes instead of them being washed. You want to put on some brand new stuff. You know, we are doing all the wrong things to advance.
But you know what? Somewhere somebody's saying, why they think they all that? We got to stop that bullshit too. Anybody thinking they all that? We are in this. That's I just told Mama, one of Mama's friends, people here. We are in this together, and when we realize that, right, then we get it. We start with a different mindset. Y'all said something a minute ago. I can't. Okay, I can't remember right now, but it'll come back to me. But we've got to definitely, what you said, change the mindset. Oh, here's a question. How is apathy? How is our apathy? Meaning, in the word apathy, y'all, let me tell you what it means in the dictionary, because I ain't the smartest bunch in the batch. But apathy means lack of interest, enthusiasm, or concern. Apathy is the lack of interest, enthusiasm, or concern. How is apathy helping us burn our culture to ashes?
Well, we have apathy in our community because we have that sense of segregation. We were they integrated, then we segregated. We segregated ourselves from each other, and the apathy comes in when you see people that have gotten to a position who don't care about where they came from. They don't care about where they came from no more. It's no concern of theirs. It's where they're going now. They don't care about bringing you up with them. They don't care about leaving you back there, you know? And that's where the apathy comes in. You got voter apathy, and you got racial apathy among the races. Black people don't care about only what they're driving, only where they're living. You know, it ain't about, I want to go. I live in a fairly awesome neighborhood outside of Savannah, but I go back to Savannah so I can try to do things. The things that I try to do is change where I came from so that it can advance other people, so it can help other people. And we got to stop being selfish. When you get selfish, it's all about you. And, you know, nobody can say that about me. You try to put that on me. A lot of people try to say it's all about Jesus. Ain't nothing I do about me no more. I got grandkids. It's about teaching them. It's about showing them. It's about leaving a legacy for them.
All right. What you thinking, Carlton? You know, what is apathy doing? I mean, you know, from ash we come, ash we return. We almost back to ashes.
You know, the fact, it's something. The one thing I want to say is, why do, when we get to a certain success level, that we may be living in a predominantly Black neighborhood, but then we decide to move to somewhere else? Is it because that we feel like we aren't safe amongst our own community because of the apathy? I guess we could say that. I guess we could use apathy in that way. To not feeling safe around our own people, to feel like we have to move out so that people don't become jealous and envious and stuff like that amongst where we currently are.
Hey, listen, it's a good point. It's a good point. So, y'all, we're gonna have probably a 3-part to this, but starting next week, we're going to talk about how do we support or resist people in our culture. I'm going to tell you what prompted this. We're going to start on this piece and then we'll close out. Tyler Perry, I was watching a documentary on Tyler Perry and his success. And one of the things Tyler Perry said that was so painful to hear is not how the white community was against him and hurt his business, but how Black folk, his own people, were at his detriment and hated him and treated him like trash and all of that. But let me start with this. We're going to talk about how do we become our own worst enemy. So hold tight. I'm going to play this and get y'all's reactions, and we'll be out of here for the day.
One point, Black culture created a community for us, right? Black culture was really big for us. It brought us together. It was a sense of unity to help us evolve, to help us get some of these things that we wanted, so that we can have more rights, more freedom. I think over time now with our generation, things have changed. We've seen a lot of the Black culture is starting to hold us back. And people might call me a coon because I said that, right? They're saying, oh, you're generalizing Black people. This isn't what we represent. No, I understand exactly what you want us to represent, what we used to represent, what we say we represent. But it's another thing when your actions don't match your words.
And you're going to be diplomatic about it. I'm going to generalize these Negroes.
When your action don't match your words, it's like, okay, we say we are this as a community. We stand for this, we stand for that. But then we out here killing each other. We out here pants hanging below our waist. We out here wearing these poo shiesty masks just because, even though it's 130 degrees outside. But we mad when people, at one point, Black culture created a community for it.
So, I think, part of, and let me say this before we move forward, y'all. Some people today are going to get aggravated and not like what we say. That means you're part of the problem. Do something about it. So I want reactions to that video. We'll start with you, Julius.
Well, he was talking to people who aren't paying attention. The reason that you're talking about those kids, and those kids are out there shooting and killing each other here in Savannah is worse, just as worse as any place else. Jacksonville is on fire. So they're killing each other, and we're letting it happen because we don't know how to control our children. I don't know of any of my relatives that's out there doing it. I would hope that they're not, but we have to catch these kids when they're this little and try to make sure that we instill in them the values that will get them, keep them out of jail and keep them out of the grave. That young man said a mouthful just now, but he's talking to people who aren't listening. He's talking about people who aren't listening. Those kids aren't listening to them. They're going to wear their pants down. They're not going to even tune into a show. Only show they won't listen to is NBA Youngboy and Young Jeezy and all the rest of them. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to hear what we have to say that for all the struggles, for all the people that have died, to get them just to have the opportunity to do the things that they do. So it's a whole change. This didn't happen overnight, but we're going to have to try to change it in a shorter period of time than which the change happened.
Carlton, what's your take?
In his video, I agree. He said Black culture used to evolve us, and now Black culture is hindering us. But the one thing I'll say is them wearing them poo-shiesty masks and their pants below their waist, that's not Black culture. The one thing people have to realize is that we are glorious in all our magnitude, from the point in time when we rise to the point in time when we fall.
Yeah. You know what's interesting to me, and I want to get the numbers on this. I meant to do it today. If we look at the economic power of the Black culture, and we look at the talent in the Black culture, and we look at the brilliance in the Black culture, we don't know if we did things right. We ain't got to go to nobody. We don't have to go to no more Viacom. We ain't got to go back to nobody to Sunbeam Bread. We ain't got to go to nobody Delta Airlines. We can build everything on our own. I'm not saying segregate, but Carlton, you and I have had this conversation, and we're going to end on this. You know, people will say this. Of course, segregation was bad for us, but integration was bad for us too. So I want you to expound on that.
You know, one of the questions that I always ask Black people, or ask a lot of people to see what their mindset was, do you feel like if the schools wouldn't integrate, would we have been farther than what we were? Based off the fact that we were getting secondhand information, ratty books, stuff like that. But for the first part of the 20th century, we came up with the greatest innovations of our time. So when it comes to it, did we really need it? Because like I say, to this day, now that I've gotten older, I still feel like I would follow the suit. Back then, if I had to go back in time, I would follow Malcolm X over MLK.
Julius, what's your thoughts?
I concur with what Carlton said. I think if I had to go back y'all would be hearing about me right now. I'll probably be one of those martyrs also.
I'll plan a repass.
Yeah, we just got to get to the point where we are doing something to unite our people instead of dividing us. People wonder why we say the things we say, because there's nobody else saying it. Because there's nobody else doing what we're doing. We're the only people in this whole region of the state that's doing what we're doing. So we got to just keep striking the rock, and we can change things by striking the rock.
All right. Well, I think next week we'll continue this conversation. I think this is the beginning of a good 3-part series, but we've got to continue this conversation, because what we got to do is help people understand we have an election coming up, and I think this has got to be between now and November. Y'all better, as much as I question Biden, I also realize if we F this up, y'all think you lost abortion rights, y'all ass gonna be out back there picking cotton. And I'm not making that up. So, Julius, if you got to take us out, because I can't find the outro.
What we got to do is worry about the Supreme Court rulings also. So they're going to be detrimental to what's happening in this country. We'll see y'all next Saturday. Stay tuned. 6:00 for Pastor Smalls. 9:00 tonight, America After Dark. 9:00 tonight, America After Dark. 6:00 today, Pastor Smalls. We'll see y'all. And Sunday, 6:00.
Political Spectrum.
Political Spectrum is going to be hot. 6:00, right on this channel. Political Spectrum. Julius Hall might be a guest. Dante, you better come ready, boy.
I'm just going to sit back. All right, y'all take care. I got it. I'll take us out.
Like this.